Hey guys, Dr. Josh Axe here with Jordan Rubin. Welcome to Ancient Medicine today. Today we're going to be talking about anti-aging and 8 unexpected things that you may be exposing yourself to that are causing you to age faster. So Jordan, a lot of people today, I know you've seen this before, somebody who was in their 70s but they look like they were 40. I mean, they were just so vibrant and young, but other people who are maybe in their 30s or 40s but look like they were 60. What causes that? Somebody to look like they age faster versus somebody who's much older, but they just look so young and vibrant?
Well, I can tell you multiple occasions where two people are together that are friends, and someone will say to them, your daughter or your son. I was with somebody who was younger than me, and a gentleman who was older than I was said, well, you know, our age, like, in other words, saying that the person that I was with was a decade or two older. So it happens very frequently, and we've been trying to find the fountain of youth for a long time, the secrets to anti-aging. But today, we want to talk to you about the unexpected elements, whether they're in your diet or your environment, that are making you age faster. So if you want to do something great for your friend or loved one, send them this information, but do it carefully. It's kind of hard to send a link to a video that tells you how to lose weight or to stop aging so fast. You got to be a little delicate with that, because you're sort of making a statement there, right?
Yeah, well, more people need to know, though, what's causing them to age. I know that, again, this is something I would, definitely share with my mom or dad, letting them know, hey, Dad, stop eating all the ice cream or all of the whatever, and definitely sharing that information. All right, we're going to give some of you guys a shout out.
Does that mean I have to stop eating ice cream?
Well, no, you eat a coconut milk cashew ice cream, so I think you're good to go. All right, Melanie Giles is watching in Las Vegas, Nevada. Melanie, hey, thanks for joining us here today. We have Nancy Hoytema, who just shared this. Thanks for being on mission with us, Nancy. She's from BC, Canada. Diane Canton from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada, or Saskatchewan. Terry Mackey's watching from Paris, Texas. Hey, Terry, thanks for joining us here today. Dave Katz says, hard to believe you guys are 70. You look like you're in your 30s.
All right.
Thanks,
well, I'm
Dave.
actually
All
not
right.
in my 30s, so that's awesome.
D. Reds says, hi from Pickerington, Ontario. Sean Carey says, hi from Toronto, California. Hey, Sean, thanks for joining us here today.
Yeah, Paris, Texas, Toronto, California. It's an international audience.
It is. And then Brenda Smith says, hey, from Bedford, Kentucky. All right. Hey, thanks for joining us, guys. All right, we're going to dive right in and talk about 8 unexpected things that are causing you to age faster than you might realize. And Jordan, one of those things, this brings me back to a Seinfeld episode when Kramer is smoking all those cigars and it ages his skin. Remember that?
Yes, absolutely. And reminds me of an episode when they were watching the super terrific Happy Hour where Jerry got those checks for a couple of pennies. Anyway, don't get us started. Watching Seinfeld probably makes you younger because you laugh.
Oh, yeah.
Now, we didn't talk about that, but watching TV, for a lot of reasons, can make you age. I remember my grandmother used to say, I'm watching the good news. And she would do it sort of as a joke because the news is awful. Watching TV is definitely not good for your health. It really combines a lot of things we're going to talk about that cause you to age, from the position you're in.
Especially.
Yeah, the news, your eyes, and then really, I think watching TV, particularly if you're watching advertisements for junk food, causes you to age just because it really puts messages in your brain about that. And even, this is kind of crazy, but the last thing you watch at night often triggers dreams. And that, if you have bad dreams, that's not good for you either. So anyway, watching TV, folks, can be linked to poor grades, poor communication skills, poor job performance, and aging. So don't watch as much TV, especially those infomercials about those creams that are supposed to make you look younger.
Oh yeah, totally agree. All right, next one here, chronic sitting. Now this is a big one. We wouldn't think that sitting makes us age, but remember, the more you move, the more circulation you have. You're getting more nutrients out to your body. If you are sitting chronically, a few things happen. One, of course, is what I just mentioned, that lack of movement and circulation in your body, which causes you to age. The other one is poor posture. And a lot of us sit on chairs. We're not meant to be sitting in that. Specifically, most of our chairs are actually too low. And what that does is that can put a lot of stress on the discs in our low back. And if anything causes you to age, it's if you have a spinal problem. You'll see as many people start to age, they start to get a condition known as kyphosis, where there's a lot of rounding at the back. People can even develop a hump at the base of their neck. And that kyphosis actually shuts off nerve supply or energy to your lungs. It actually causes your spinal vertebra to start to lay down more bone and degenerate because it's a less stable structure. But chronic sitting as well causes something called forward head posture and actually strains your overall spinal cord. So really that can affect the way that your entire body functions. So a good replacement for that, you can get one of those medicine balls and sit on it.
Yes.
Is a good replacement, or get a standing desk is another good option, or have a higher desk where you're on a stool, and then every hour or so move around for a couple minutes there as well. We used to do that in my office, Jordan. We would do our team huddle in the morning when I had my clinic. Before we got started, we would all sprint in place for 2 minutes and then go out and just got our energy up. But anyways, move, sit less, get a standing desk, or sit on a stability ball. All of those things can help you anti-age.
I would also say, and we're going to talk about this later, but anything that you can do to reverse gravity, jumping on a trampoline or mini trampoline is great. Not enough exercise. Speaking of a trampoline, folks, we need to exercise an hour a day. And part of the problem is we're sitting so much, we're not walking like we once did. And our ancestors used to walk all the time. In fact, they were always busy. They would recline only occasionally. So we need an hour a day of exercise, folks. You know what's interesting, Josh, that today, everyone watching probably knows a few people who exercise an hour a day and think they're just wackos. Yeah. Most of us don't do it, even kids. So try to exercise for an hour a day. I exercise right at an hour a day. Today was only 30 minutes. I'm staying in a smaller room, and I was trying to do some of my routines, and I think I kicked the nightstand and hurt my heel. Anyway, but try to exercise, and here's what I tell people. It doesn't have to be a major deal at the gym. Just do something. Even if you do knee bends, even if you do something with, you mentioned a medicine ball, mini trampoline, walk briskly and fully extend your glutes. We all do the shortest kind of walk, but you can get an exercise from walking. That's why they had those shoes that were supposed to build your legs and your glutes, because it gets you to sort of hyperextend. But we got to exercise more. I know it's cliche, but it is anti-aging in a bottle.
Yeah, we got a... actually, we have a question here, Jordan, from Luis. How old are you guys? Well, I'm 35.
I'm 41.
So there you go. Question answered. All right, let's see here.
We're both married, by the way.
We got a question here from Nazarene Mirza. She's watching from London, England. Hey, thanks for joining us here today. Appreciate you guys who are all here. And Donna Diaz is watching from Colorado Springs, Colorado. And Mary Egbert says, you guys are looking good. Awesome, Mary. Hey, thanks so much.
It's all the makeup we put on backstage.
Yeah.
There's no stage, but you know what I'm saying.
All right, so added sugars to the diet. This is one of the fastest things that will cause you to age. I mean, sugar causes a lot of oxidative stress and oxidative damage on our bodies, which really sort of eats up your body's antioxidants. It depletes your body of antioxidants and will absolutely cause you to age faster. So, Jordan and I are not typically on this big all sugar is bad crusade, because there's some people out there saying you should never have any type of sugar. In fact, forgo all fruit, forgo all honey. And we believe that, in small amounts in food form, eating blueberries and raspberries and figs and and a little bit of raw honey or manuka honey on occasion can actually be great for you. But added sugars, processed sugars, corn syrup, especially high fructose corn syrup, these sugars are going to cause inflammation in your body. They're very stressful on your pancreas. They're going to cause you to age faster. So our recommendation is get rid of the added sugars and processed sugars and switch over to things like using fruit, a little bit of raw honey, and things like that are better options.
Absolutely. In the future, there's legislation that's going to change the nutritional or supplement facts panels on packaged foods to have added sugars.
Love it.
So the sugars that are natural, they're still not always the best, because you get a glass of orange juice and I want to say there's 32 grams of sugar.
Yeah.
It's still sugar, but it is coupled with some other good things. But the added sugar will be a welcome addition to the label.
Oh yeah.
All right, so now we're going to talk about vegetable oil. I think this is really challenging, because growing up, there was this great spokesperson who was a famous TV mom who said we should use this one kind of oil every day. Vegetable oil, primarily corn, cottonseed, even sunflower and safflower is high in omega-6 fats, and they can be damaged through cooking. So I really believe that when something says vegetable oil, or it's safflower, sunflower, or cottonseed, or corn, or soy, you want to avoid it. Now, coconut oil theoretically is a vegetable, although coconut's really a one-seeded drupe. We should do an entire show on drupes. I mean, they're just absolutely ignored in our diet today. Anyway, not all vegetable oils are bad. We think that red palm oil, if it's sustainably harvested, is good. I used tiger nut oil this week. And
wow.
it actually had a smoke point of 460 degrees.
That's
I didn't know that. Olive oil. Olive's also a fruit. Anyway, I'm mixing it up because now there are no good vegetable oils apparently. But there's seed oils. Sesame can be good.
Sure.
Peanut can be pretty good if it's unrefined. Avocado, which is also a fruit, is great as well. But the vegetable oils I mentioned, avoid them, especially if it says hydrogenated or partially hydrogenated. I think, honestly, artificial sweeteners, trans fats, and, believe it or not, some of what the Bible will call unclean or detestable foods, pork and shellfish, are some of the fastest agers out there. Vegetable oil is real close.
Absolutely. Jordan, I thought of the title of your new book, The Droop Diet, so I'm pretty excited about that.
But you always bring it up. My other previous title, Don't Get Sick, Just Die, Live the Life of a Chicken, hasn't even gotten started yet. So
yeah,
I'm
that's
a
a pretty
behind.
good one. That's pretty good. All right, shampoo and candles. Now, here's the thing, Jordan. So many of these things we have in our house, and it's not just shampoo, it's our deodorant, it's our skin moisturizer, it's those plug-ins or
But they
those
smell
things.
so good.
I know.
I mean, I don't remember to put candles out. But some candles and shampoo, like when you use that junky shampoo, it smells good. What's up with that?
Yeah, well, you know, these things were modeled after essential oils. Unfortunately, they are synthetic, and they're really toxic to the body. So there are a lot of toxins, especially when you look in shampoos, for instance. We're talking about parabens, sodium lauryl sulfate, propylene glycol, you know, a number of other just additives that have been shown to typically affect two organs the most. And I'll throw a third in there. Number one, the liver and the kidneys. We know that many of these toxins your liver has to deal with, oftentimes your kidneys, but also a lot of the things that are airborne, Jordan, that we smell can affect the brain as well. And so, you know, these are things that you typically want to stay away from. And here's the thing, we're not saying all shampoo and candles, we're saying the conventional kind.
Yes.
Replace them with essential oil-based and herbal or natural-based shampoos and candles instead.
Absolutely. And here's a big one, poor sleep. I believe that sugar cravings, I believe that mood, and I believe that skin and immune health are greatly affected by poor sleep. And it isn't just about the length of time you sleep, it's when you sleep.
Yeah.
In the old days, there was no artificial light, there was no television, people went to bed when it was dark, and our bodies were meant for that. Our circadian rhythms are balanced by the cycle of the rising and setting of the sun. Bottom line, folks, go to bed early. You know what really irritates me? So many children go to bed so late.
Yeah.
We do, despite what you might think, take our children to regular pediatrician visits. Now, my kids don't usually need to go to the doctor, but when they do, it's for a well visit and just to check things out.
Sure.
We actually had a doctor that spent a lot of time with the kids, and he told them, you need to be in bed at a certain time. Now, my kids go to bed early, either 8, 8:30, or 9, and I have teens and preteens. He said you need to even go to bed earlier than that. I remember when I was a kid, I stayed up way too late. So more sleep is important. Folks, if you're an adult, don't have your TV on in your room. Don't read articles online. This is what I'm guilty of, reading and reading, and sometimes I'll fall asleep to the Bible Is app or worship music, but still, it's stimulating. We got to get more sleep, and we got to go to bed earlier.
Jordan, I'll tell you right now, and you don't have this as much with your kids, but you know the number of kids, especially in high school, who are on their cell phones in their bed,
Middle of the night,
texting till 2 or 3 a.m.
Yes.
every night. You want to talk about wearing out your adrenal glands. You want to talk about increasing acne for these kids and affecting their memory and focus and concentration in school and making ADD and ADHD worse. All of these issues are happening with kids because of poor sleep. And I remember my dad, and I had a basketball coach who we had to be in bed by 9 o'clock, and he would literally call everyone's house.
Wow.
And this would happen all the time. Everybody knew it, but sometimes the kids would just pick up the phone because it was habit, and then we would be suspended for the next game.
Nice.
I know they don't do that anymore. That probably coach would get fired or something for being too hard on kids. But anyways, as you're saying, getting more sleep, really important. Food sensitivities. This is another big one for a lot of people. You know, Jordan, everybody may have their own kryptonite per se, and I think that to certain regards, you know, some of the IgG tests. This is something you and I have talked about. You know, I don't take it as you know, as scripture. You know, a lot of times when we see these IgG tests, sometimes people come up with multiple food sensitivities. And some of them I do believe could be true sensitivities. Others might be, maybe you eat that food a lot.
Yes.
But I will say it's good to really listen to your body, right? It's good to know what you may or may not do well with. And within Chinese medicine, there are certain foods that affect the body in different ways. So at certain times of a season, your body might be more or less sensitive to something than another time. To give you an example of this, there's a condition in Chinese medicine called dampness that Jordan and I have both talked about a lot. And that's typically if you have a white coating on your tongue, or you get really fatigued, or you know, or you have, especially an issue like candida related, they'll call that dampness within Chinese medicine. In that case, you want to stay away from most like milk products. You want to typically stay away from egg whites, wheat products, lots of sugar, lots of oils. Those things are slightly more dampening, which actually as people age and as people are very young, they typically need more of those foods. But so there's certain times of years where you may want to stay away from certain foods, or get more of certain foods. But food sensitivities, you can do an IgG test, and there could potentially be something you're reacting to, but one of the best ways to do this is just simply journal. If you eat something or you notice your nose is running a little bit, you get stuffed up, or your skin breaks out, just even getting some extra redness, those are all signs that you might be having a sensitivity.
Absolutely, and there are 8 common food allergens that are responsible for 90% of true allergic reactions. We know peanuts certainly, but it's eggs, it's dairy, it's wheat, it's fish, and shellfish, peanuts, tree nuts, and soy. I think that's all 8. So those are responsible for 90% of allergic reactions. Sometimes it's good to just go off of those.
Yeah.
There's a lot of foods you can still eat, right? I mean, in fact, there's not even a single droop on the allergy list.
No, there's not.
The droop diet coming to a bookstore near you, 2060.
All right, here we go.
Now these are good foods.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are the unexpected foods that keep your cells young. Coconut oil. Coconut oil is good for the thyroid. It's good for the gut. Its medium chain fatty acids are antifungal and antiviral. Coconut oil is good topically. It's good orally. Who would have thought, really, who would have thought that saturated fats can make you young?
Yeah.
What a gyp. We've been gypped. Imagine all the fat-free craze of the 90s, losing all those precious days of life. Eat more oil. Coconut oil is good. Olive oil is great too.
Yeah.
These oils are really good to keep your cells young.
You know, and Jordan, something you mentioned here with coconut oil, I've heard you mention before, is the importance of saturated fat. And this would be important. You know, we could put up another thing, / animal fats.
Yes.
On there as well. Tallow, bone broth oil, or schmaltz, those types of things. These types of oils are more similar to our own makeup. You know, especially, I want to mention this, especially for people as they age, get over 60, one of the things I know some people have issues with is sort of that drying skin. And tallow or these animal fats are amazing for your skin health, for hydration, and internally to do as well, along with coconut oil.
You're giving away all our secrets, but folks,
I know.
Here's the thing. When you look back 100 or 200 years ago, you're going to find some elements to our diet, even here in America, certainly around the world, that are missing today, and they're all coming back. Coconut oil was berated because soy and corn were easier to grow. Think about it. A coconut tree, a coconut palm is not as easy to grow as corn and soy, and can't grow in as many places in the U.S. You've been lied to. Coconut oil and saturated fats are good, not just because they're saturated, they contain certain fatty acids that are wonderful. Now, MCTs are one of the top sports nutrition supplements. They were 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Caprylic acids used to fight candida, all found in coconut oil. Lauric acid is great too. Speaking of bone broth oil, bone broth's pretty darn good too.
There we go. We love bone broth for anti-aging. Remember, collagen is sort of the glue that keeps your body together. When you're younger, your body produces more collagen on its own. It keeps your skin tight and firm and strong. As you continue to age, you get less collagen, which we'll talk about that in a minute as well. You also get typically, most people are deficient in other things in their diet, such as proline, an amino acid that's part of collagen, as well as glucosamine, chondroitin, hyaluronic acid. These are all found in bone broth, and they're not just good for the joints, Jordan. We know they're good for the gut and incredible for the skin. They're great at keeping you and your body young. So I would say, Jordan, of all the things we're going to talk about today, from a dietary perspective, this is the biggest thing we're missing in our diet today, is getting bone broth. Again, if somebody would come up to me and say, Dr. Rax, what's the #1 supplement I should take to help my body and support my body in the aging process and feeling younger? I would say bone broth every single time. And so chicken broth is amazing. Beef broth is amazing. This morning I did bone broth. In fact, I did a scoop of protein powder that comes from bone broth, or a bone broth protein powder in a smoothie. Actually did a cinnamon apple flavor, was delicious. But that's what I had this morning for breakfast. And again, it's there to help keep my collagen and connective tissue really strong.
And exercise. Notice we say exercise right. Now, everybody likes what you see there, dumbbell presses. Let me reframe that. Everybody loves to work out the muscles that you can see in the mirror, right? But the right kind of exercise is really, really important. Now, we've talked about this before. I'm not someone who's done yoga, never really done it. But I have learned certain techniques related to Pilates and something called gyrotonic. You've talked about bar and other fitness programs that are great for the core, which really extends from the hip flexors just below the chest. This is an area that's really, really important. You can also do more functional training. We talked about walking. Hiking is a great, climbing. Those are really great. My kids got into rock climbing, indoor rock climbing walls. What a great source of exercise. One of the best, and this has been around for a long time, they call it rebounding or jumping on a mini trampoline. Now, certainly you can lift weights, you can do curls, you can do bench presses, but when you hear about people getting a lot of issues in their shoulders, their knees from squatting, all that can be challenging. But when you do the right kind of exercise, like a Pilates, like a yoga, like a gyrotonic bar, mini trampoline, and there's others, those are really, really good for you.
Yeah, Jordan, in fact, I've heard somebody term it this one time. They called it adaptive exercise. When you're doing Pilates with deep breathing and some of these other things, I mean, really, you know, we talk about adaptogenic herbs and their anti-aging benefits. Exercise can be anti-aging as well if it's done the right way.
Or it can be pro-aging if you do it the wrong way. You will look good, but you're not as functional. All right, so we're talking, you talked about this and alluded to it before. This is really amazing. Now, one thing people get confused on, they say, well, when you eat collagen, it doesn't immediately replace your collagen. It breaks down into its amino acids. And guess what? That's what we've been saying, because the amino acids in collagen are pretty awesome, and they're deficient. Vitamin D, important because we're deficient. Omega-3 because we're deficient. We might be more deficient in these amino acids than anything with today's modern diet.
Wow. Incredible. So as we're talking about collagen, something you want to be getting in your diet, and again, I do this through a scoop of collagen powder every single day. I love getting my collagen, a bone broth collagen every single day. But again, collagen, another thing you want to get. And again, part of my smoothie this morning, actually I did some oatmeal applesauce, cinnamon apple bone broth protein, a scoop of collagen, and that's what I did for breakfast. Was delicious. All right.
Pretty balanced.
The right fats, Jordan.
The right fats are so, so important. You know, I was noticing there's one part on my elbow that's dry. And so I put moisturizer on it. Just one part, my right elbow. I mean, I don't have any skin conditions, but I actually thought that I'm fat deficient. And I eat a lot of fat. I mean, I eat a lot of fat. There are so many conditions. Some people feel dehydrated. I once heard the term delipidated because fats are lipids. If there's one thing I could tell you to do to keep your cells young, it's eat a balance of fats. Avocados there, which are monounsaturated. Olives are another good source. Macadamia nuts. Then we've got omega-3s from fatty fish. You can also get them from seeds such as flax, chia, hemp, and pumpkin, and from animal sources, pasture-raised red meats and eggs and dairy. There are actually some trans fats that are good for you. CLA is a trans fat.
Right, that's right.
CLA is a great fat. And saturated fats from meat, from coconut, from palm, even olive oil has saturated fats in it, and even omega-6s such as borage and evening primrose oil. Get an abundance of fats. Folks, here's what's really cool. The paleo diet, the keto diet, these are all driving up, even the Mediterranean diet, the importance of fats. We're finally here. Again, suffering through the fat-free days of the 90s. I was into fitness back then in college. I would track my fat to see how little I could consume. And a year later, I was in the hospital dying from Crohn's disease. I'm not saying it's exactly correlated, but man, I bought the lie headlong. Fat doesn't make you fat. I wish it wasn't called fat.
Yeah.
It really, because I'm going to eat more because I got my elbow thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Test for food sensitivities. We talked about this. You can do an IgG test to see if you do have any specific food sensitivities. But as Jordan mentioned earlier, those 8 foods are the ones that people are most allergic to. And you could simply Google search that online, 8 most common food sensitivities. Or I've written articles on this. If you just look up Dr. Axe food sensitivities, I've got some great articles on those exact foods as well. Next here, essential oils.
Essential oils are amazing. So we have been working on some skincare products in development. And you know what I did this morning? I took some samples, then I dumped like a whole lot of frankincense on there.
Love it.
I went like this, put it on my whole face. Essential oils that you breathe through olfaction, that you put on your body and that you put in your body are extremely anti-aging. Think about anti-aging. Antioxidants are probably the most important compounds to help you reverse aging. Essential oils are loaded with antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds. They're just absolutely amazing. I'm scurrying around the house constantly to make sure all my diffusers are full. I love it. It's just, I don't know what I would do without essential oils. In fact, we wrote a great book called Essential Oils, Ancient Medicine. I had an old friend that I saw when I was in Florida yesterday, and I gave her 3 copies. I'm pretty excited. This is the daughter of the pastor of the church where I met my wife, was married. She was so excited because she, like most people, love essential oils but don't know how to use them. So if you're interested, check out Essential Oils, Ancient Medicine. It'll teach you how to use oils in ways you never thought possible.
Yeah, I mean, it is the best book out there, in my opinion, on essential oils. You can check it out. Just go to Amazon and look up Essential Oils, Ancient Medicine, or my website, draxe.com, Essential Oils, Ancient Medicine. I think you'll love that book there on the store. Jordan, anti-inflammatory foods. This is a big one. Remember, inflammation is what causes a lot of disease today, whether it's heart disease or ulcerative colitis or arthritis. A lot of these things are connected with inflammation. And so some of the most anti-inflammatory foods are going to be specific types of fruits, vegetables, herbs are number 1, and then along with those herbs and spices also is going to be omega-3 fats. So get more omega-3 fats in your diet, like wild-caught salmon would be high on that list, and other fatty fish. I'd also put under the fruit category fruits high in proteolytic enzymes such as bromelain, papaya, kiwi, and figs. Certain herbs, we know ginger and turmeric are 2 of the best anti-inflammatories. In fact, cayenne and rosemary, also some fantastic herbs and spices to use. And then lots of vegetables, especially those green leafies, are great as well.
Absolutely. And this is a big one, meditate/pray. I really believe that you can keep your cells young by centering yourself, focusing on what you want. I personally, and this is some good advice, I say Psalm 91 every day. I memorized it years ago. The person who taught me how to eat the biblical way had his kids every morning repeat Psalm 91. Now my kids do it for their homeschool. Psalm 91 is amazing because it is known as God's protection psalm. You can pray the Lord's Prayer. Psalm 23 is another great one. He makes us lie in green pastures. And don't just pray it. This is a little secret. We got to do a show on this. When I say Psalm 91, I picture myself doing the things like treading upon the lion and the cobra, like I'm slamming the lion and stepping. I mean, it's really cool stuff, like adventure stuff, since I don't get to do that sort of thing anymore. But truthfully, meditate on what you want. The Bible says David meditated on the Word of God day and night, and that guy had some serious challenges to overcome and some serious responsibilities, fought some giants, if you know what I mean. Meditation and prayer can help keep you young.
And then probiotics. You know, probiotics are key to life. We actually are determining, and scientists believe now, that what makes up your microbiome is really an organ of itself in your own gut and digestive tract. So we need more probiotics. They support nutrient absorption. We know we need certain nutrients to help with cellular activities and functions and to really slow that aging process down. So again, probiotics are a key nutrient that we are not getting enough of on a daily basis. So again, probiotic foods such as natto and kimchi are great. Sauerkraut, fermented goat's milk kefir, lots and lots of probiotics. Fermented herbs, probably the most beneficial thing you could consume on a daily basis.
And you know, there's a couple of things we didn't mention. Medicinal mushrooms are absolutely amazing
yeah.
for anti-aging. And you talked about herbs. Ashwagandha, rhodiola, ginseng, eleuthero, adaptogenic herbs are powerful. There's so much more. If you want to learn more information, definitely check out our website, drax.com. So here's a wrap up from Ancient Medicine Today. These are the 8 unexpected things that are aging you faster. Then we'll let Josh talk about the powerful foods and substances to help reverse the aging process. So we got watching TV, do less of it. That includes smartphone, that includes Hulu and Netflix and all that other stuff. Chronic sitting, make sure to stand. Reverse the sitting position, open up the rib cage, stand up more, sit on a Swiss or medicine ball. Not enough exercise. Not exercising enough can cause you to age faster. Cut out added sugar and cut out sugar in general. We gotta curb ourselves of that sweet taste. Vegetable oils, particularly sunflower, safflower, cottonseed, canola, soy, and corn. Cut them out. Shampoos and candles. They may smell good, but what you're smelling could be killing you. Get more sleep and avoid food sensitivities.
Absolutely. Next things you're going to see here are things you want to get in your body to stay young. Coconut oil. We talked about the medium chain fats there. Bone broth, loaded with collagen and proline and hyaluronic acid. Exercise the right way. We talked about doing things like Pilates and bar and yoga and also doing burst training. Collagen. Get the right fats in your diet that we talked about on a daily basis. Avocados are great. Test for food sensitivities. Use essential oils part of your skincare routine. Frankincense, geranium, lavender are some of the best. Consume more anti-inflammatory foods. Meditate and pray daily, and then consume some probiotics. If you can do these things, it's going to help you feel younger. It's going to help you look younger. And it's really going to, for most of you, just transform your life on a daily basis. I know when I feel good, I get more done, I have more joy in life, so these are some things we hope that you will harness and embrace today.
And remember what Ricardo used to say on Saturday Night Live, it is better to look good than to feel good. You look marvelous. See, I'm trying to bring people back who are older if we want to do that.
That's
good. Little Billy Crystal there.
All right, so guys, don't forget to subscribe here if you're not subscribed as well. Thanks for watching.